Hey kiddos! I'm going to finish reading the ancient Greek story to you guys today. I'm still sick and I've got some eye infections going on, so I'm just going to film Mona sitting right here instead of me so you guys can listen to me talk with my sick voice. Okay? Alright, Chapter 5, Lasting Achievements. The ancient Greeks made lasting contributions to art, architecture, science, and medicine. They also developed drama, literature, and philosophy. Their ideas still influence the modern world. Architecture and art. The Greeks built many structures that still stand today. Temples are the most famous of their buildings. Most of the temples still have a similar design. The buildings are rectangular with columns holding up the sloping roof. Modern architects base many of their designs on Greek styles. The most famous example of Greek architecture is the Parthenon. Completed in 432 BC, this temple honored the goddess Athena. She was the goddess of war and wisdom. The Greeks created their own forms of sculpture, pottery, and painting. They were the first to sculpt human statues in a natural style. Greek statues usually showed perfect human bodies. Earlier statues had looked stiff and unnatural. Athenians made the most valued pottery in the ancient Western world. They painted their pots with pictures of gods, heroes, and ordinary people. Greek artists decorated buildings with beautiful paintings called frescoes. These wall paintings on plaster showed scenes from Greek myths. Ancient Greeks were among the first to use logic to explain the world around them. They wanted to discover the reasons why things worked. Anaxagoras was an early Greek astronomer. He learned that the moon did not make its own light. Instead, he believed that the moon's light was a reflection from the sun. Archimedes was an inventor and mathematician. He discovered the principle of a lever. Archimedes created a complicated set of levers and pulleys. He used them to lift a large ship from the water to land by himself. Hippocrates was a Greek doctor. He is often called the father of medicine. He developed the Hippocratic Oath, a promise to heal the sick. Today, many medical students take this oath when they become doctors. Drama and literature. The ancient Greeks created drama. The earliest Greek plays were religious ceremonies. A chorus sang and acted out stories about the gods. Later, dramas told legends of Greek heroes. Many plays were about gods. Other stories told about the Persian Wars. The Greeks were the Western world's first writers of history. Around 450 BC, Herodotus explored the Mediterranean region. He wrote long reports of wars, geography, customs, and legends. Herodotus is often called the father of history. Aesop is one of the most famous Greek writers. Historians believe Aesop was a Greek slave who had been freed. In 500 BC, Aesop wrote hundreds of fables. These short stories about animals taught a lesson. Aesop's fables include The Tortoise and the Hare and The Fox and the Grapes. Many of Aesop's fables are still told today. Philosophy. Early Greek philosophers studied life, death, and other mysteries of the natural world. Socrates was the most famous philosopher from Athens. He was the one of the first to study ethics. He taught students by asking questions rather than giving them answers. This teaching method is now known as the Socratic method. Plato was a student of Socrates. In his book, The Republic, Plato describes his ideas for an ideal government. He also founded a school called the Academy. Plato's most famous student was Aristotle. Aristotle became a great philosopher and scientist. He developed a scientific system to help understand the world. The ideas of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle are still discussed today. Daily life in ancient Greece. Most people in ancient Greece were farmers. Their farms are usually small and run by one family. Often, slaves helped them. Men and women lived in separate parts of the house. The woman had a special room. There they played with their children, spun thread, and sewed. The men often held parties in the men's area. Slaves brought them food and drink. At the center of each home was an outdoor courtyard. There, children played games. Each day, people filled the marketplace, or agora. People came to shop, meet friends, and do business. Farmers brought their goods to the market on donkeys. Pottery, cloth, and jewelry were also sold there. When they became adults, children brought their toys to the temple. Girls did this before they married. Boys did this around age 14. Children offered their toys to the Greek gods Apollo and Artemis, and then took part in a ceremony that welcomed them into adult life. Chapter 6. This is the last page. Greek influence today. Greece has influenced many modern governments. Democracy is now a common form of government. Ancient Greeks developed political speeches, debates, and voting. Trial by jury is another system created by the Greeks. A jury is a group of people who listens to and decides a court case. The ancient Greeks believed in the rights of the male citizen. Aristotle wrote that the pursuit of happiness was important. When the 13 colonies in North America separated from Great Britain, the colonies created the Declaration of Independence. This document borrowed Aristotle's idea. It states that people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Often, government buildings also have Greek influence. Court buildings, capitals, and presidential homes have all used Greek architecture. Every day, people take part in activities invented by the ancient Greeks. They read novels, attend plays, or exercise in a public gym. Athletes wrestle, box, and compete in track and field events. Philosophers explore the meaning of life. Scientists search for logical answers to problems. Ideas from ancient Greece continue to influence modern life today. And that's it. So bye-bye, Mona. Bye-bye.